Hello traders, welcome to the new weekly forecast for the trading week beginning on March 17th. First of all, I would like to congratulate to all of you, those who have been holding long trades in gold. Finally, it reached $3,000 mark, the level we have been waiting for months. And we'll find out what lies ahead, whether the gold rally will continue or is it going to dive down. And today's video has been specially crafted by taking into account your wish list. So stay tuned till the end. And finally, in the upcoming week, we have major central banks coming up with their monetary policy. First, we have Bank of Japan, followed by Swiss Central Bank, followed by Bank of England, and finally, the US Federal Reserve. So without wasting much time, let's dive into the charts and find the new tradable opportunities. So let's begin with dollar index, our first instrument in the wish list, and I'll start from monthly. I'll be applying a very simple technique of trend lines and fib extensions here. I'll turn it into a line chart and let me adjust. Okay, perfect. Now here, based on the monthly time frame, I can see that dollar index created a major low here, which is aligned with the negative histogram, followed by a major high aligned with the positive histogram. So I'm going to apply fib retracement from low to high here. Okay, so FR applied. I'll zoom out and I'll also apply the rising trend line here. So first trend line, we can connect from this low, which is again aligned with the negative histogram, and I'll connect with the next higher low. So we got the first rising trend line marked, and I'll bring my vertical line on this area. Okay, and we can also use fib extension in the bullish direction. Reason being, we have PNP formation here. So this is, sorry, NPN. This is NPN formation. So I'm going to use fib extension in the bullish direction. So first fib extension in the bullish direction also applied. Since it's bullish, let's keep it green. That's it. So I can see two fib lines coming closer here. So this is gonna serve as magnet support, highlighted again with blue color. It's time to move down to the next lower time frame, that is weekly. And here on the weekly chart, I'm gonna use trend lines and fibs again. So here we can apply another rising trend line. So we have a major low and we can connect with the next one, which should align with this low. Oh, yes, we can. So here we have the next rising trend line. So the second rising trend line, which is now applied on the weekly chart, is now broken. I can see dollar index has fallen below the second rising trend line. And the current environment on the basis of MACD is also bearish, negative. That's it. And do we have scope to apply the next trend line here? I don't think so, because I cannot connect this low with the new higher low. So we need to move down to daily now. Now on the basis of daily, I can apply a new rising trend line starting from this low, and I can connect with the next higher low. And yes, this is broken. So the darker blue colored trend line, the rising one, is now breached. And here I also see a major level, because the two intersecting points of trend lines are also a kind of support and resistance. So finally, dollar index has fallen lower. Now the current trend in dollar index is still bearish. I can see lower low formation of histogram and lower low formation of MACD lines in conjunction with lower low formation of price. So which means the sellers are controlling the market at the moment. And we have bearish divergence on the top, higher highs, bearish divergence, and this is now your breakout structure level. So I'm going to apply fib extension in the downward direction. So for that, I need to start from the highest time frame, and I can see that we have the highest point, which is entry of sellers, and I can see a positive histogram here. So this can be taken as our next P. So we have PNP formation here. So this is our N. So I will connect ABC in the downward direction. So let's use ABC extension in the downward direction. So this is our fib extension in the downward direction. Applied. I'll make it red since it's bearish. Now with the help of fib extension, I can say that the trend is definitely downwards and the sellers will continue at least towards 161 mark. So dollar index can fall to 101.70 and I can see a major confidence coming at $100 mark, which is again a big psychological number. Let's move down to the next lower time frame and I need to bring a vertical line on the latest C point, applied, and move to 4H. Now on the basis of 4H, we need a minor adjustment here connected with the high, the new vertical trend line, the vertical line. And here I can also apply a falling trend line. So falling trend line applied. Let's make it red. Now I can see that there is some slowdown in the selling activity and here the market has gone sideways. Price action is not strongly bearish or strongly bullish. The histogram is right now slightly bullish. So after a major fall, I believe this is a major fall, the sellers have taken a pause. It can go sideways, or the best case scenario, it can move back for the correction, retracement towards the falling trend line, and it should come closer to 105.5 in case if buyers make an attempt and then continue lower. So any which ways, the plan is to sell on the rise. Moving down to the next lower time frame, that is 1H. Now on 1 hourly frame, I can see it's completely sideways. So here I have found bullish divergence coming on lower low, and the breakout structure has not happened, but the falling trend line was breached, and again the price has fallen below the trend line. So it's neutral to bearish, but definitely not bullish. The current environment on the basis of MACD is again slightly bearish. So lower time frame is not synchronized, not aligned, but the higher time frame is definitely running bearish. Now coming to the lowest time frame, that is 15H, I can see that buyers made an attempt here. So this is the attempt by the buyers, which again develops bearish divergence on the high points, and the sellers have pushed the price lower. So lower time frame is definitely unclear, and I believe it's gonna stay unclear until US Fed's monetary policy announcement in the upcoming week. But the direction on the higher time frame is definitely telling us that dollar will move down to 101.7, followed by 100.31. It's time to go to the next currency pair, and this is Euro versus Canadian. So I've taken one minor pair. I'll start from the monthly here, and here on the basis of monthly time frame, I will start from the bullish divergence. So this is the bullish divergence taken into account, double bullish, and the breakout structure is also completed. So which gives me an option to apply fib extension in the bullish direction. So here we go, connect with the fib extension ABC in the bullish direction applied. Let's turn it to green, and I can bring my vertical line on the latest point here. Done, and let's move to weekly. Now on the basis of weekly time frame, again we need a minor adjustment on the vertical line. That's it. And I can also make a rising trend line here. The environment on the basis of MACD is extremely bullish, no signs against, and I will use fib extension in conjunction with trend line. So I'm going to apply next ABC here. So here we have A to B and B to C here. So second fib extension in the bullish direction applied, and let's change the color to blue now. So blue lines for weekly and the green lines for monthly here. I'll shift the vertical line to the next low. That's it. And I'll try to use the rising trend line here. And I can apply a rising trend line in this manner by connecting the NPNs. Okay. And can we have the next ABC here? Yes, we can. So we have A, which is aligned with negative. We can count on this high, which is P, and I can see one more ABC completed here. So let's use it. Let's apply second ABC on the weekly. So here we go with the second fib extension on the weekly frame. And I can see duplication of two lines. So this is now your major support since the current price has gone higher. And do we have major resistance? Yes, we have magnet formed around 6189 to 6271, but I can see a more stronger magnet being formed around 6698. So in short, 6698 or 6680. This is the ultimate target. That's it, and we can adjust the vertical line to the next C point. So applied. And now we can move down to daily. So here on the basis of daily time frame, I can see the pattern is extremely bullish. Higher high is formed, higher high formed on histogram, and higher highs on MACD lines as well. And it gives me an opportunity to apply next ABC. So I will apply daily ABC in the bullish direction. A to B and B to C applied here again. And I'm going to change the color to brown here. Okay. So I can see that it reached an important area of magnet resistance. So this is now our resistance because bullish activity stopped here. So this was our fake high. So I'm talking about this high. So buyers, they spiked up but did not maintain. And now there is a very high chance that after a massive rally that it may correct downwards. So this is your first destination, and this is finally going to serve as major support, and we can expect continuation in the bullish direction. Fundamentally, euro is much better than Canadian dollar at the moment, so it makes sense to go for buy trade, buy the dips. Do we have next ABC? Yes, we have one more ABC. So let's use it on the same time frame. Second ABC to be applied on daily chart. Completed. And I can see we have very, very strong support area. Duplication of two lines coming on the same level. Let's mark it green. And the bigger support area on the basis of previous Fib extension is also highlighted here. And we also get to see some more magnet zones, resistance zones on the basis of multiple Fib lines. But the major one is around 6271. And let's move to the next lower time frame, that is 4-hourly chart. I missed to mark to shift the vertical line to the next C point, which I've done now. So here what's happening on 4-hourly frame, I can use the trend line method. So this is the first trend line which we can apply in the rising direction on 4-hourly. And we have N, P, N. Yes, so we can use our second trend line on 4-hourly using NPN. Second applied, and I'm going to use the next one if possible. Yes, we have N followed by P here, and this is our N prior to the divergence. So I'm talking about bearish divergence formed on 4H. So we have PNP divergence and MACD line divergence, a very strong one. This is going to be our BUS level, but BUS is not yet done, so we will use our trend line method. So here I'm going to use the next trend line starting from this low, and yes, the 4-hourly rising trend line is gone, it's breached. So definitely on 4-hourly time frame we have bearish divergence and break of trend line. It means the buyers have given up, and for the short run, for the short time, sellers will control the instrument. Moving down to 1H. Now here on 1-hourly frame we have the confirmation of bearish trend on 4H, so we need to look into the ABC bearish pattern here. So this is the highest point, A, aligned with positive, yes. Then I can see here N aligned with negative, makes sense. And then I have here another C. So ABC identified, let's use it. So ABC in the bearish direction applied, and let's change the color of Fib lines to red here. So the first expectation is always FE61. So here we have 61 followed by 100, and it makes sense because Fib extension 100 is also aligned with the green zone, the massive support zone. In case buyers fail to take support at this price level, which is around 5492, we can expect the rebound from the major blue zone, which is coming around 5338 to 5368. So the plan is, in the short run, if you want to go counter trend, you can go for short-term sell trades, which is always aggressive in nature. If you want to stick to the major trend, then you need to patiently wait for the price to move down to either to 5492 or 536865, and then it will be a perfect retest of the trend line coming from the previous higher lows, and you can join the buyers. So buy the dip is the plan for EURCAD. Let's move to the next instrument, which is GBPUSD, pound versus US dollar, and we'll apply the same technique but on the monthly time frame first. So here on the monthly time frame, I have found bullish divergence, lower lows with a wide bullish divergence. Now based on bullish divergence, we need to identify the BOS level. So here the BOS is not yet done. So buyers have not yet crossed 1.4262. In this scenario, I would like to go with the break of trend line. Unfortunately, our trend line is also the same. Reason being, this is the previous high and these are the two major turning points. So if we apply a trend line, our trend line is also gonna be flat. So it does not help us. So this is the flatter trend line, the blue one, okay? In case if you want to look for the diagonal line, then I have only one choice. So we can apply a diagonal line in this manner. And I can see that we got the break above the diagonal line. Then we got a pullback, and now the market, the instrument is again trading higher than the falling trend line. I need to zoom into the latest part of MACD and see what's happening. The latest part of the MACD has turned bullish again. So buyers are back. Do we have NPN, ABC bullish? Yes, we have. This is the N I'm talking about. Lowest point connected with high, B point and C point. So let's use it and apply Fib extension in the bullish direction. So first bullish ABC applied on the monthly frame. And let's change the color to green here. So the first extension target is 1.3767. So right now we are at 1.2936. Okay, we are quite far off from the first target. Let's apply vertical line on point C and move to the next lower time frame, that is weekly. And here we are on the weekly, a minor adjustment required again. And yes, I do not see any scope to apply ABC on the weekly because here we have only A point confirmed. Only A point is established. B point, I'm not sure whether this is going to stop here or it's going to move further high. So we need to move down to the next lower time frame. Let's move to daily. And again, a minor adjustment required. And let's see what's happening on daily. Now on daily time frame, the buyers have taken control. Reason being, I have found lower lows. So this is the pattern I'm talking about. And this comes with flat MACD lines, so which is a kind of divergence and flat histogram. And the buyers have completed the breakout structure. So buyers have established their control on the basis of daily time frame. Do we have the scope to apply ABC? Not again, because I have only N and P available here, but not the third point. So here we have N aligned with the negative histogram, and P, I'm not sure whether the buyers have stopped at the current level or they are going to march forward. So let's move down to the next lower time frame. Moving down to 4H, and we will use 4-hourly chart. Again, we need a bit of adjustment with the vertical line. And here on the basis of 4-hourly chart, I can draw multiple rising trend lines here. So let's apply. So this is the first rising trend line. Then here we have the next N, which is aligned with low and negative histogram. We can use it with this Yes, so we will get the next rising trend line here. Let's apply the second rising trend line on 4 hourly. And do we have the scope to apply the third one? Let's see. So this is the lowest point aligned with N. No, I can't say because right now I'm not sure whether this negative histogram is going to end at the current level or it will continue further down. So no more chance to apply the trend line. Now I will use 4 hourly chart to apply my first fib extension in the bullish direction. So let's use it. So I'll start from the lowest of 4H. I'll connect with first high aligned with P, makes sense. So we get the first fib extension of 4H. Let's change the color to blue here. So we have crossed 161, and do we have any magnets here? Yes, so I can see again the magnet is formed at 1.37, which is quite far off. We need to see if we have the second ABC, and here we have N, again the low point aligned with negative. Do we have P here? No, not very clear. I need to bring the vertical line here. I'm not sure. Yes, we have a tiny P here, so we can apply the second ABC. So I'm taking this P into consideration, high and N. So second ABC will be applied now. So here we start from C, which becomes our second A, and I'll go to B, and here we get the second fib extension on 4 hourly frame. Now on the basis of multiple fib lines taken on 4H, this is going to serve as major support, which is 1.2823, which is also aligned with the rising trend line. Do we see some magnets on the higher side? All lines are getting aligned around 1.3656. So I believe 1.36, 1.3750 is achievable. That's it. We need to bring our vertical line to the latest C point and move to the next lower time frame. So this is the beginning of new bull run on 1 hourly chart, and it looks that buyers are still in control. First thing I would like to see if we have the scope to mark a rising trend line on 1H. So this is the rising trend line. Yes, so the rising trend line of 1 hourly is now breached. I can see higher high formation here with bearish divergence. The breakout structure is not yet completed, but I can see the rising trend line is broken. So on 1 hourly frame, I think the pullback has started, but on the basis of histogram, the buyers are still in control because the latest histogram is again bullish and rising. So the sellers are not looking so strong here at the moment. So this is gonna serve as major support, that is 1.2917. In case if sellers take an opportunity and push it further down, then the next bullish opportunity should come at the second rising trend line. This is the expectation. So any pullback towards 1.2830, because we have Bank of England's monetary announcement coming up, which might change the direction in the short run. So any pullback should be taken as an opportunity to buy and hold. And the targets, we need to go down to 15 minutes if we get an opportunity to apply ABC here on 15 minutes. But on 15 minutes, it's going sideways. I do not see breakout structure or trend line. So sorry, I'm not able to use ABC on 15 minutes. So we need to take into account the targets on the basis of the fib line. So these are the upcoming targets: 1.3069, 3146, 3244, 3315. But ultimately, I'm looking for 3656. So buy the pullback, buy on the dip is the plan for pound versus US dollar. And it makes sense because US dollar is getting weaker. So British pound against USD should get stronger. The next instrument which everyone has asked for is crude oil. I'll start from monthly here, and on the basis of monthly frame, this is the lowest point and this is the highest point. So we have N and we have P. I cannot apply ABC in the bullish direction now because our current histogram has not yet completed and it's still running bearish. So point C is not available. So in this case, we always connect Fib retracement. So Fib retracement applied. That's it. And we need to move down to the next lower time frame, that is weekly. Now, on the basis of weekly frame, I can see the sellers have taken the control after printing bearish divergence on the top. The breakout structure happened, and since then it's moving downwards and creating lower highs and lower lows. So now we are precisely on Fib retracement 50%. So 66.82 is the 50% retracement level. If sellers continue, then the next target in sight is 61.8 Fib retracement level with the price target of 55.46. And I would like to apply ABC bearish here. So we have entry of sellers, A point on the top, aligned with positive, yes. Then I can see a major low aligned with negative. I need to confirm this. Yes, I can see a major low here. And I'm going to use the next lower high as point C. So I'm going to use ABC Fib extension in the bearish direction. And here we go with ABC bearish. And I'll mark it red. So this is the next magnet zone I'm looking at. So crude oil should move down, and the target is between 57.5 to 55. This is the next upcoming target. On the basis of histogram, MACD, the environment is completely bearish. Do we have the scope to apply next Fib extension? Yes, definitely we have the scope. So I'm going to use ABC again in the bearish direction. And we can do it one more time because I have A aligned with P and P. So third Fib extension is also possible on weekly. And got it. So here we need to look at the magnet zone. So this is also a magnet zone. So currently it is at the major magnet level. And we can bring a vertical line to mark the latest C point and move to next lower time frame, that is daily. Now this is our daily chart. Now on daily, the pattern is bearish with bullish divergence. So here I can see high aligned with P. Then I can see lower highs and lower highs. And when I look at the low points of daily, I'm expecting a potential bullish divergence which is not yet completed. So here we have slowdown on histogram, but MACD lines are still moving lower. But I can see the sellers have stopped accelerating because the blue line has now curved back up. So I can see potential bullish divergence. Let's move down to the next lower time frame. Basis on daily time frame, the market is still bearish. Now here I get an opportunity to apply the falling trend line connecting from the highest point of daily. So this is the falling trend line I'm talking about, which is not yet breached. I can see that it has completed bullish divergence on the last two lows, but the buyers have not completed the breakout structure. I also need to identify the closest falling trend line. So the closest falling trend line can be established from this high and connecting the next one. Yes, so the latest and the closest falling trend line is now breached. So if buyers, they remain in control in the short run, we can expect the extension towards the higher trend line or maybe slightly more higher in case if the second trend line gets breached. Otherwise, we can expect continuation in the bearish direction because the price action is not so promising. I can see a sideways consolidation rather than a strong bullish move here. Okay, it also gives me the opportunity to apply ABC bullish, but on the next lower time frame because this is the lowest point I'm talking about. We have high and we have higher low, again aligned with negative histogram. So let's use ABC bullish on 1H and see the potential levels here. Let's mark it with purple. Okay, so the potential upside target could be 67.82. In case we see more strength in the buyers, we can expect 68.67. And if buyers continue, I can see max up to 70.88, which is the best case scenario for buyers because the higher time frame is clearly bearish. So my plan would be to wait patiently, let it come closer to the second trend line, look for sell opportunity. If not, then from 68.67, and all higher Fib levels are basically potential sell areas. And I'll be targeting at least 57.5. So sell on the rise is the plan for crude oil. And finally, our favorite, gold. So here, I'll start from monthly. And on the monthly time frame, I'll apply the trend lines first. So here I'm going to connect NPN. So we have N here, so we have second N here. So let's connect with the help of rising trend line. So this is monthly rising trend line, and I can bring a vertical line on N here. Done. And the environment on monthly time frame for gold is extremely bullish. MACD histogram rising, and we have MACD lines also rising with clear strength. Moving down to weekly now, and on weekly again I can see NPN, so I can use second trend line on weekly. So this is the second trend line. I can also apply the next trend line here. Again, I'm following NPN, so this is N aligned with negative histogram. Low means then I have second low and third low. So let's connect this low with the third low. And the price is still higher than the trend line. MACD histogram clearly bullish, no signs against, no bearish divergence. Buyers are in full control. Now I need to apply first ABC bullish here. So I'm gonna start from the lowest. I'll connect with the first high and point C here. So first Fib extension in the bullish direction applied on weekly frame. Do we have the probability to apply the second one? Yes, we can. So we can start from C, connect with the bigger wave, point B, and this is our point C. So I can see duplication of two lines coming here. So this should be taken as major area of support, 2616. Let's see the next one. The next one is coming around 3191. The duplication is coming here on the basis of weekly Fib extensions. Right now we are slightly higher than 2969. So our weekly close is above 2969. We can move the vertical line to the latest point C and jump to daily time frame. So here we are on daily. Again on daily, I do not see any signs against. I see buyers are in full control. The histogram is still bullish with the bullish crossover of MACD lines. And I can apply one more trend line in the rising direction. A minor adjustment required with the vertical line. I'll start a new trend line from the vertical point, and this is the latest I'm talking about. So buyers are in control. Can we apply one more Fib extension? Yes, we can, because we have A, B, C. So we will use daily ABC in the bullish direction. Let's use A to B and B to C here, and change the color of daily Fib lines to green. So I get to see one more strong zone here, the duplication of two lines. So we have a very, very strong support between 2823 to 2855. And the next upcoming level is 3086, followed by 3228. Again, the duplication of multiple Fib lines, or triplication rather. Let's move down to 4H and move the vertical line to the latest point marked. Now here we are on 4 hourly frame, and look at the pattern on 4H. We have low followed by higher low. We have high followed by higher high, and I do not see any bearish divergence. So we have higher high on MACD lines, and MACD histogram is equal. So we can say a weaker sign of divergence, not a very strong divergence. So anyways, This divergence does not make sense until I see sellers breaking this level, so which is at 2885, somewhere between 2880 to 2900. Okay, so I'm gonna use ABC on 4H now. So this is the lowest point A, we have high point B here, so here is B, and we have C here. So I'm gonna use fib extension in the bullish direction on 4H, and here we go. Applied, and let's change the color to golden now. So I can see that we have a very strong zone in between 2969 to 2977, and the next strong zone is in between 3070 to 3086. So this could be the short-term target. And any break below the rising trend line, the latest one, should be taken as a sign of weakness. Now, do we have another trend line to be applied? Yes, we can use one more trend line here connecting the lows. So I get to see an alternative trend line, and this area is again the intersection of two trend lines. So this is a very, very strong support zone, which is around 2900. So 2900 is now our solid support zone. Now what's the plan? We need to go down to 1H and validate if 1 hourly is still bullish or not. Okay, give me a minute. So here we are on 1H. So what is the probability? I'm looking at the rising highs here, higher highs, and rising MACD lines, rising MACD histogram. So the trend is extremely bullish. In case if you see some retracement, which is possible because current histogram is negative, MACD is negative right now, so a pullback is always a probability. First pullback could be up to 2969, followed, if it gets deeper, it can also move towards 2942, and then the rising trend should continue. Do we have the chance to apply ABC again here? We can. If we, yes, we have NPN. So I'm going to use the next fib extension and applied. Let's change the color to yellow this time. And we are exactly on 3000. So it reached exactly on 3000, which is fib extension level. And I can see cluster of fib lines around 2979, 2977. So any pullback towards 2945 could be taken as an opportunity to buy the dip. So this is the plan for upcoming week. I hope my analysis adds value to your trading plan. If you like this video, show your support, give a thumbs up, and stay profitable. Bye-bye.